10,000 tick trap. Pandas, 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 pandas. I got bras in Atlanta, twisting dope, lean in the pandas. Welcome to my stream. I'm Bob by Money. Today is Whiskey Wednesday. Risky Whiskey Wednesday. What that means? Well, we have FOMC today at 2. Don't forget. So what that means is that it might be kind of choppy today. So we play another game here where if I get to 250 likes, I will sip on some whiskey for you guys. Good morning, guys. Drop a GM in the chat. Drop your location in the chat. I'd love to know where you guys are from. Icky. Good morning. Ted Rajnes. Good morning, Erica. Good morning. Sleepy Joe from Australia. Welcome, welcome. When I hear the name Sleepy Joe, I automatically think of someone specific, but you're also from Australia. So it makes me a little confused. Like, is your name purposely Sleepy Joe? Like, is your name Joe and you're just like kind of always known to be sleepy? Or is your name referring to a specific person I'm thinking about, but you're also from Australia? I mean, do people in Australia, do they not like this specific person that I think you're referring to? I don't want to say it because, yeah, no, you know the reasons, but I don't know. I don't know the situation over there in Australia. Frank Martin, good morning. Stephen Milan, good morning. Your name is Joe, but yes, oh wow, okay. How is it over there in Australia? I don't know. Is it like, do they really care about, how things are going on over here? H-Cow, good morning. Arhecker from Puerto Rico, good morning. Pancake. Will Curtis from Massachusetts. Ted Rogers, even people from Australia. Wow, that is so weird. Why? It's 12:30 a.m. in Australia. You guys are the true MVPs. How is it possible? Actually, it's nice, right? Maybe it's like a midnight. Actually, that's kind of cool because you can trade at nighttime. I mean, you're going to stay up a little late, but yeah, maybe that's a little too late because you don't have to stay up to like 1 a.m., maybe 2 a.m., up to 2 a.m. pretty much. It's Whiskey Wednesday. Let's go, baby. Let's get to 250 likes. Sip on some whiskey for y'all. Today is FOMC day, so I'm expecting chop until then. I mean, when you look at the daily chart, you have a engulfing bar, IO pattern. If you break the low of it, then technically there's follow through on this L4 setup, and we have enough room to get down to the trend line, enough room to get to the 20 EMA, and enough room to get to the top of the trading range. There's a lot of areas that we can bounce off of, and so that doesn't mean that we can't have a strong down movement today. And I don't know the FOMC. I don't know what's going to happen. It can cause a big drop. It can cause a big drop and a big bounce. It can cause a big just rocket ship. It can do a lot of things here in this area. These areas are a little bit confusing. But strong bull bar ending on its high. No follow through on that. And yeah, we'll see. Unfortunately, this is not a second entry short. I mean, you have to do it like this. You would need a lot of price action. A couple days worth of price action for that to work out. Chris talking about the engulfing trap. If you guys don't know what that is, that means it's an outside bar reversal with a trap on the other end. Rodion says, I work from home for my day job. A quick nap at lunchtime helps with my late nights. That's nice. Very nice. SW Blaze from Chicago. Free paper cuts. Good morning, Tanner. Good morning. Salvatore, FOMC chop. Exactly. That's what we have. The Whiskey Wednesdays. I do have a poll here for you guys. Will the Fed pivot? And 25% of you have no idea what that even means. So I don't know if you guys, when you trade futures, if that's all you care about, but I'm pretty interested also in just general economics of, I guess, the United States and how things are. And you know, I think it's important for anyone who has money in the stock market and money in anywhere really. So, you know, even in crypto, if you have money in crypto, you should pay attention to this, because what the Fed does is going to affect everything. There is one saying that I never ever fight or go against, and that is, do not fight the Fed. Don't fight the Fed. Don't fight the Fed. If they are going to lower interest rates, even in an overbought market, many months, many years of overbought market, it doesn't matter. If the Fed is lowering interest rates, if they have quantitative easing going on, you just don't fight them. You just buy. You just follow them. But if the Fed now all of a sudden announces that they're raising interest rates, don't fight the Fed. That means, you know, any bull rally, you know, is just a rally in a bear market. The Fed has the power to control the overall direction of the stock market, I believe. But right now, if you guys don't know, the Fed has very tight monetary policies. They are doing quantitative tightening. That means that they are selling bonds. They're not buying bonds anymore, selling bonds. They're probably selling mortgage-backed securities. Market just open. And, you know, they are raising interest rates, making it harder to get money, and making it making more incentive to have money in your savings account because your interest rates are going up. I'm gonna see if there's a setup around this area. I mean, if we break this low here, let's follow through on the previous bar. We can have a strong move down. Unsure. I mean, I think FOMC day today, so I'm thinking we're going to bounce around, chop around. I can't go short under this break. I usually like trading the break of the previous day's highs and low, but I'm unsure of the market cycle right now on the daily chart. But like I've been saying, so right now the price action on the daily chart is suggesting a reversal. So that being said, people are thinking, someone's thinking, institutions must be thinking, that there's a possibility that the Fed may pivot. And what that pivot means is that they're changing from tightening their policies to loosening their policies or easing their policies. So we do get a nice break beneath here, and you get a nice 2-point scalp here. We get more than that? I'm not sure. I need something to tell me a little bit more. So will the Fed pivot? Price action is suggesting perhaps they might. I'll say it's pretty mixed, the general public's opinion. I think there's probably a leaning towards the Fed, you know, the general public thinking the Fed may pivot here. I think. I don't know. But there is another camp that says no way. There's no way they can do that. Yeah, nice push down here. And this is before the FOMC announcement. So we're getting some movement. Interesting. The 5-minute chart candle, very bearish. First candle of the day. 10,000 tick. Now, personally, I don't want the Fed to pivot. I want them to keep raising interest rates. I want them to tighten everything because it's insane. I'd rather have a recession than hyperinflation, which is, basically a recession for everybody. Recession, if you were, financially responsible, I mean, I understand some people are not in that situation, but the recession, it's like, it hurts, but it won't destroy. It will hurt a lot, but it won't destroy. And it will be, yeah. But the amount of how fast inflation is going up, and how slow it's going down, even with raising interest rates as aggressively as the Fed has been. Like, in my opinion, if they stop now, it's gonna kind of maybe make all the work that they have done so far kind of futile. But on the other side, it's, the Fed pivots because they don't want to bring the U.S. into recession, right? They don't want to destroy these companies. They basically want to bail them out. And other countries may basically be begging the U.S. to start doing that as well, because the fact that the U.S. is not doing that is destroying the economies internationally, right? It's just, they're going through basically hyperinflation because of how expensive the dollar is. So, I don't know. I just don't know. The national debt as well, they can't pay it off with these interest rates. They cannot. So you have one or the other. It's one or the other. Let's just see what the Fed does. This is why I'm asking on a poll. What do you guys think is going to happen? We do break below the previous day's low. Okay. I'll take a reversal here. Sure, why not? Possibly opening reversal here. Feels like entry short. Already have a break of trend to new low, bouncing off of support here. Only thing I really lose here is the fact that I might miss a trade. But if I wait for my setup, I don't mind. As in, I'm not going to go early in this. Doesn't make sense. I gotta wait for my setup to trigger. I mean, we could be in a straight downtrend until FMC. Who knows? And this is way beneath the 20 EMA now. I don't like it how beneath the 20 EMA is. I can't take this failed second entry short. It's too beneath the 20 EMA. And it's beneath also the support area, right? Like you want to be above the support and stuff if you want to take that reversal. Ends up being just a second entry short working out for you. A, B, C. The only reason why I didn't want to take it is because we already had a breakup trend here. No matter how I cheese this line, this is the max I could cheese it, and we broke it. End up scalping out there. Some people will say this is still a trap, but if we're beneath the 20 MA and also beneath, you know, it basically is curling down, and I just can't take it. Even if it does reverse, I just can't take it. Ends up being a nice push down here, continuous downtrend. For me, like I just don't know if we're gonna have a strong trend until FOMC. So for me, I'm kind of like leaning on the side that we're in trading range, and this could pop back up, basically creating a trading range. But what do I know? I'm just a panda. What do I know? Today is also the last day you could take advantage of the 80% off Apex BBM 80. Make sure you take advantage of that. And yeah, no word in terms of them extending it. So this might really be the last day. And I will say today will be a good day to grab a couple, because you have the FOMC and the FOMC has such a big movement. It's one of those events that you can basically pass your eval. You could either fail or pass your evals in one trade. And yeah, for evals, I would not recommend that to do with PA counts, but with evals, you know, you're a little more free to do what you want. But that's all I'm saying, pandas. That's all I'm gonna say. Trade at your own risk, of course. Now we're above our trend line. Still having a hard time breaking above this support here. Now acting as resistance. Sorry, still recovering from a cold. Don't mind that sound. It's nothing. It's nothing. Don't mind the sound. It's nothing. Second entry short. Lower high, second entry short. Outside bar reversal. Trap trade. Amazing. I'm not taking any trades here right now. I made the mistake having a strong premise, knowing that it's FOMC day. Well, kind of forgetting FOMC day and making a strong premise, and that kind of owning me because FOMC typically ends up choppy. And I try to trade a strong premise, and I've been burned by that too many times. So I do think this is a downtrend. I mean, there's almost no denying it, but it ends up working out for you, right? This outside bar reversal trap, lower high, second entry short. It's a lot of things there for you, but 1 second. I mean, how many times can they blow the leaves right in front of? I mean, how many times can they do this? Like, it's like they're doing it on purpose. They're just re-blowing the same leaves again and again. I mean, I'll put this on mute. It's a little loud. All right, it's a little bit better. They're starting to go away now. I have no idea what's going on. If you look at the 5-minute chart, OII pattern, breakout mode, this breakout fails, it might reverse. That might fail again, it might continue down. There's also a gap here it might want to fill. I don't know. 10,000 tick chart's getting choppy. 2,000 tick chart, we're in this triangle that had a failed breakdown, but we're continue to trade underneath the 20 MA here, having a hard time breaking above it. As long as we're kind of going sideways like this, I'm not gonna take a trade. So this is why we have the whiskey challenge. Make sure you guys scalp that like button. Let's get to 250 likes during stream. Sip on some whiskey. Whiskey Wednesday. Huh. Second entry short, I don't like it though. It's just too choppy, too many overlapping bars. A, B, C. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't want to take anything while we're in this. Basically, the trading range indicator gave us a trading range right now, but we're still underneath the 20 MA, giving it kind of a bearish feel. But at the same time, it's like going so sideways. This could be just building up accumulation for the bulls to just blast off of this. No, it's not daylight savings. It shouldn't be. What is daylight savings? November 6th. It's a Sunday. Yeah, this weekend. I don't know what to do here. You know, like I said, second entry short, but so choppy. We can come right back up into this. I just don't know. I just don't know. What's going to happen here? If we break above here, there's plenty of room to the top of the trading range, but notice we're having a hard time trading above the 20 MA. So if it breaks above here, it might just get knocked back down by the 20 MA. I don't know. Bandas, do your part. Make sure you guys scalp that like button. Should I change the whiskey challenge? Should I make it like a prize or something? Would that be better? What would be an appropriate prize? Trap, outside bar reversal. Wayne Bicknell, good morning. Welcome, Bernadette, good morning. No faith required, good morning. Welcome, guys. Live free, Madi, good morning. H Cal, good morning. Chris, Iron, good morning. David B. David B asks, how do you set up your trade for the FOMC for max profit? Go hard, go home. Wayne Bicknell. Let's go, baby. Got his PA account. Congrats, man. That's what I'm talking about. You know, this is what I want to see. This is what I want to hear. I want to hear people, you know, coming out of this stream, coming out of watching, following, and and just being a supporter of the stream, and then coming out of the stream being fully funded by a prop firm, like something that they probably would have never wished or dreamed of that would have happened, and now they are in a place where they're trading, right, apex money, not even their own money, risk free. And for me, that makes me the happiest, right? The fact that there are people's lives that are changing watching this, and you know, now they're having opportunities of a lifetime, in my opinion. I have no idea what's happening here. We're still just chopping around, and unfortunately, this might be the FOMC, just FOMC chop. Can't take any trades here. Kirk Reed bought 9 evals. Yes, pandas. Make sure you guys take advantage of the BBM80 coupon code while it still lasts. FOMC is at 2 p.m. guys. 2 p.m. It's not only that, it's also the Fed rates. It's a big one today. When you look at the 5-minute, completely just with these wicks, choppy.
$10,000 tick trap.
I'm just letting this ride. As long as we're in this trading range, I just can't trade it. It's just impossible to trade. So pandas, how you guys doing? People are asking about the trade copier. Trade copier is a game changer in my opinion. It's the only way that I'm in a place where I can make life-changing money. It's the only way. The trade copier I think is a must if you want life-changing money. Trade copier, you have to use it. Now, it's not perfect. I really don't have that many issues with it. It works pretty much how it should. There are certain things that could prevent you from certain mistakes to happen. But basically, as long as you keep an eye on it, it shouldn't really cause any troubles. I just use the one on the Apex website. But I mean, honestly, it's the best way. You know, this is why I have so many accounts, because it's like I always use the example of 4 accounts because the math is the easiest. But you know, if you have 4 accounts, then you multiply that by 250, which is the amount of trading days that are in a year, and then you know, on one account, if you just traded like one account but you copy across 4 accounts. You know, to you're agnostic to how many accounts you have. You can have 4 accounts. You can have 100 accounts. It doesn't really matter because you're just trading one account. And you just trade the exposure to the one account and the risk reward of one account and the cash management of just one account. And you don't care about the other accounts or how many accounts you have. But because of the trade copier, you basically can leverage. You can leverage even more in terms of how much money you make. And so I use 4 because 4 times 250 is 1,000. 250 is the amount of trading days in a year. So whatever you make an average per day, you multiply that by 1,000, and that's how much you can make at the end of the year. So that includes wins and losses. You know, I use the word average because average is basically the average of your wins and losses. And so let's say you can make even $100 a day. Then with just 4 accounts, you're making 6 figures. Right? You're making 6 figures already. But that's just with 4 accounts. Imagine if you had 10 accounts, right? Then, or I'll just maybe multiply by, 2. So like, let's say you have 8 accounts. Then you're making $200,000 a year with just making $100 a day. Let's say you have, what's 4? 12 accounts. If you have 12 accounts, then you're making $300,000 a year. And that's just making $100 per day on average. Now, can you make $100 per day? Well, it really depends on if you're profitable or not. If you're not profitable, no strategy is going to make you money. right? No amount of copy trades, no amount of accounts you have is not going to make you money. You just cannot make money. Simple, it's plain and simple. If you're not profitable, by very definition, you're just not going to make money. So for me, like, you know, I have so many accounts because I just love the fact that I can make $100 a day and walk away knowing that I'm making more money than I've ever made in my entire life doing anything else. So do I recommend the trade copier? Yes, 100%. Is it perfect? No, it's not. It's not. There are little glitches that you have to be aware of. One, the biggest glitch is this, in my opinion. And it happens basically every once in a while. And it's when a signal bar races. Let's say you want to go long, and the signal bar races to like its high, and the very next tick it triggers, your second entry long, and then it kind of triggers like, and you kind of move your entry into that spot, and then and the market moves so fast it like triggers another part of another bracket of your trade. Your ATM, let's say it scalps you out immediately, and it like scalps you out before it can really even copy your trades across your other accounts. And then what it actually ends up copying is your sell to close trade, but since it missed the original entry, now you're in a short position where you're typically, when you should be already out of your trade. That's kind of like the only glitch that I really feel that I run into. It's not even a glitch, it's just the limitations of a trade copier. And so, it's kind of by design, I guess, but that's why you gotta keep an eye on it. But that doesn't happen very often, right? It's not very often you enter a trade that finishes so quick that when it copies the trades across your other accounts, it only copies, your sell to close or your buy to close, whatever side you're on. That's kind of like the biggest risk, I think, in the trade copier, and that's the kind of thing that I run into. Sometimes there's some slippage because it changes your limit orders to market orders. I believe that's also what it does. So you might have like 1 or 2 tick slippage. At worst, maybe, I don't know. I can't say at worst because I don't know. It could be really bad one day, but yeah. So you gotta keep an eye on it. Yeah, so if it does happen, it doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. That's why you gotta keep an eye on it. I drew this line here for a wedge, and it's just so choppy. I just can't take any trades right now. It's just untradeable. But in my opinion, it's worth it because the fact that it gives you an opportunity to make life-changing money. It really is. Like, I put a post up last month saying I made $66,000 in 1 month. That was only because it's made possible by a trade copier. If I was trading one account, I would not be able to make that much money, at least safely. I say that because I'm using trade copier and I got to 66,000 safely, right? I got there using the same setups I've been using on stream every single day. I get there making little bits of money, right, every single day. I'm not making a killing. I'm not going crazy, right? My losses are small if I do lose. My losing days, maybe $1,000. And it's just, and you think it might be a fluke, right? Like I made, oh wow, my 66. I mean, if you know how much money I made this month, you realize it's not a fluke. It's just consistent, profitable trading and correct risk management, losing small, winning confidently, and that's all it is. Sticking to the plan, good things will happen. Like, the pandas know how much money I made, this month, and this kind of, this is why I didn't post it publicly because it's kind of a privilege for the pandas. Pandas actually know exactly how much I make every day. Pandas know exactly how much I make on every single account, and that's what we go over in the pre-market show. So I mean, the thing is, I say all this stuff, and we have pandas, right? Anyone with a green name is a panda. We have pandas on stream, so at any moment they can say this guy's lying, he's fibbing, but obviously they're here to testify. Their silence is enough. I may want to go long here because I figure we're choppy and we make this come back to the top of the trading range, but the signal bar is a little bit large here. I like, it's a little bit large, but I like the shape of it. I like the shape of you. R asks, what is the highest you have withdrawn from your Apex accounts? Right, that's another question for the pandas. Yeah, almost want to come up with a retracement right there, making the risk like so small. Casey asks, hey, Panda, I see the leg counts for 1 and 2, but what does 3 and 4 mean? 3 and 4 mean are just more leg counts. So this is 1 push down, 2 pushes down, 3 pushes down, 4 pushes down. So 4 pushes down. Lance Gone asks, how come you still work if you make plenty trading? I've answered this question many times, and I'll answer it again here just because, hey, we're choppy. So let's talk. Let's talk about it. Why do I, if I make so much money, it's unbelievable how much money I make. Then why do I still work? Well, if you can do both, why not? I mean, I work from home. I'm making good money. I think, if anything, it's good signs that, I could be on the road to just becoming a full-time trader. But, if you can do both, why not? I have a very good job, very good paying job, and I'm able to do both pretty well. And so, the thing about trading is you just kind of have to be looking at the charts, be aware of it. You're not really doing a lot. You're only kind of doing something right when a setup happens, but also, the steps it takes, I might make a video on this. I might just refer to the video from now on. But the steps it takes to become a full-time trader, I think, I'm not there yet. I think I need about 1 more year before really considering doing that. The big reason being is because you need enough saved, where I think you need about 2 years of your full-time salary saved. And on top of that, like, the money that I'm saving, like, I'm also using, for other investments, other opportunities. Like, it's like, it's maddening to me when I have money that's not working to make more money. It's kind of makes me, I don't know, it might be a greed thing. It might be a psychological, I don't know what it is. But if my money's not making money, like, for me, it's just a waste. So at the very least, savings account. At the very least, like Robinhood right now, it's not even a savings account. But if you just keep it in Robinhood, you make 3% if you're like a gold member. You get 3% on your money. That means if you have 100K in your Robinhood account, that means at 3%, you're making $3,000. That means per month, what is that? Per month, you're making $250. I mean, that's a nice dinner for me and Mrs. Panda, once a month. We can go out, and that's just completely free. Like, I'm not doing anything. That's 100% risk free. And so, like, at the very least, that's what you do. For me, real estate and also just high yield dividend stocks right now. I'm all about that. I'm a DCA high dividend. At the end, I don't want to, though I enjoy trading, at the end, you want to have multiple streams of income with your investments. You don't want to just have one stream of income. So, the full-time job, that's stability, right? Pays the bills. You have obligations. You have someone to take care of. You have family to take care of. You have, so for me, 2 years of full-time salary needs to be saved. But with that being said, I'm also using the money to put in other investments. I need 2 years of cash, in my opinion. So, I need enough for a rainy day, or at least liquid cash, right? Liquid. It has to be liquid. I would, long-term investments, you don't really want to touch those. Like, I don't know. I work in I'm software. Working in software. On average, how many trades should I be looking to take per day during my evaluation account? During evaluation account, it depends on your strategy. I trade very aggressively when it comes to evaluations. Why? Because you can reset them. You're not losing any money. It's just like a test, right? It's a test that you can try infinite amount of times. And so I trade very aggressively. And the thing is, when you pass the test, it's a very nice reward. You get funded. So to me, I like to basically have I will take probably, if I trade very aggressively, and this is it also depends on what you count. The easiest to pass for me, I think, is probably the 50K accounts. That's probably the easiest one to pass. It has the best threshold for the amount of money they fund you. Like, it has the best trailing threshold versus profit target. I think maybe the 25K is better, but I think the benefits of the 50K is worth it. So I like the 50K accounts, but the best threshold in general, which is the largest one, is the 300K account, and it also lets you trade the most amount of contracts. So it really depends. I can finish a 50K account in one day. That'll take about maybe 1 or 2 trades. I can finish a 300K account maybe in 2 or 3 days. And that being said, it's about 2 or 3 trades a day. Does Apex charts supply charts and data? Yes. What? Yes. No favorite card asks, does Apex? Yeah, so you get a license, you get a NinjaTrader. So you're paying like some eval money, but like if you don't have a license with NinjaTrader, it's almost worth just getting a, one of these like accounts, like even a 25K account to practice, and it's 80% off. This is absolute FOMC announcement trading. Make sure you scalp that like button. But let me continue on what I think it will take to become a full-time trader. Yeah, I'll answer some more questions here. Yeah, so for those who don't have like an account or a license, it's almost worth just getting the 25K account, trading micros on them until you pass it, or just practice micros on them, and you have 80% off, which that makes it like $20. I don't know, it makes it so cheap. But you get the NinjaTrader license, and you have the opportunity to possibly get a funded account, 25K. No favorite card. Does Apex train you? They don't train you, like mentor you, but I think they have some resources for you. I never use it though. Iron Cruz says, do I think Apex will ever shut down? With their business model, I don't think they will shut down. Odie says, you should tell them to trade normal how they would in real life, because this is a business at the end of the day. Going full cowboy isn't part of the plan. I agree with Odie. Like I said, I trade aggressively on the evals. But for you, if you're practicing and if you're just trading and you want to like prove your strategy, you got to trade according to your plan. You got to trade according to your strategy. And I think in general, when I scalp, I mean, in general, any day, like if you ask how I trade my PA accounts, it's very different than how I trade my eval accounts. My P accounts I trade, you know, very conservatively. I make about, you know, $200 to $300 a day. Sometimes I make over 1,000. Sometimes I make over $2,000 a day on my P accounts. And this is on one P account, copied across multiple P accounts. So, you know, it depends on the day. Sometimes I lose. Sometimes I lose $1,000. Sometimes I lose $2,000. Right? Like I think the most I ever lost was around probably $2,000 to $3,000, and man, that was really painful. And it happens. It really does happen. But you gotta stick to the plan. You know, when that happens, it's usually because I don't stick to the plan. You go on tilt and you mess up. But you know, my P accounts, I trade it very differently than I trade evals. Lance God says, when you get a P account, can you trade aggressively, or do you have to stick roughly to the same countries? I trade, depends on the setup, but I may trade aggressively. I may trade if the setup is very good. I will start to increase my contract sizes if I like the setup a lot. And if I don't like the setup, then I'll just, you know, I'll just trade it normally. But typically I have a max pain. I don't want to go beyond my max pain. Casey says on the P account, yeah, at a certain point you get you pass like the threshold and your account becomes a static threshold, which is, it's like that in itself is like amazing. It's like the feeling of getting to the static threshold is like, whoa, it's like almost passing another eval. That feeling is very similar, even better sometimes. When you see your threshold turn from a trailing threshold to a static threshold on the P accounts, it's like a thing to celebrate. But I think with Apex business plan, I honestly I think it's a good business plan. They have a good business plan. I think it's solid. How many contracts do I trade on my eval accounts for like a 50? 1 second. Sorry about that, Panis. I had to get some water. I mean, this is a good time to ask questions because this is the last day of the 80% off code. So it's like if you're really thinking about it, if you're on like, you know, if you're on the line, then I would say start off with like a 50K account. Just try it. And once you try it, you realize like how easy it is. Like it's not that daunting. And it's like a very small investment on your end. Lance gone as yeah. When you get a P account, they do have a rule. Like I think you have to trade pretty consistent. They do have a consistency rule once you have a P account, but I think it's like I think it's very obvious for them when you're not consistent. Like it's basically they're trying to prevent people from, just trying to get that one hit home run, and then they, like the thing that we typically do with eval accounts, where if we pass it, then we start to just trade micros every single day. It's like they're trying to prevent stuff like that. So it's like you trade max contracts one day, and you pass, like you get like to the point where you can withdraw money on the P account, and then you just trade micros, 1 micro a day for the rest of the days for 25 days, whatever. Then it's like, they're gonna see that and be like, no, that you can't do that. It's very obvious for them when people try to do that. But if you're like just trading normally and you're like you do max contract trades for one or two trades because you like the setup, and then you go back to like your 1 or 2 contracts, it's like I don't think they're gonna say anything about that because that's like that's just part of your strategy. How much do you need to put up for that 50K count? It's like $30. It's actually $30. It's crazy. Right, with the 80% off, like, I don't think people understand how much money is 80% off. It's like 80% off is so much discount. Yeah, Ted Rogers, only $30. And if you pass, they will give you 50K worth of trading power. I will say though, once you pass, if you do pass, you have to immediately pay $85 for the PA account fee, right? Your eval fee disappears completely, but then you have to pay a monthly $85 fee for every account, every PA account you have. Right? If it's 50K account or if it's a 300K account, doesn't matter. It's a $85 maintenance fee. That's to give you a license and data and whatever money they want from there. Why are you guys asking so many questions? Make sure you guys scalp that like button. Let's get to 250 likes. It's still so choppy and just untradeable. I just cannot. I probably, this is a FOMC day, pandas. 2 o'clock. Just be aware. Yeah, they might be a little more strict now with that 20. I think they were kind of loose before, but yeah. Chris says, I signed up for another account, but it's not showing my second account. Does it take some time? It probably will show it on your Rhythmic, but you may have to log out, log back into Ninja. P accounts do not have discounts on the monthly fee. No, they do not. Philippi says, then once on a P account, you need to trade 25 days. Yep, that's true. Casey says, I know you use multiple accounts, but I always feel iffy when trading all of them because fear of losing all at once. It's true. That is a risk. That is a risk. That's why for me, like, all I care about is not busting my accounts. That's like my number one thing. Like, just don't bust your accounts and you're fine. I don't care how much money I make. I just don't want to bust my accounts. No trigger initiatives. Can you share the settings you have for Tulip? I basically have default settings, except I changed the scalp point to 2 points instead of 1. So you'll see maybe more traps on mine, but pretty much the same. If you're really seeing different numbers, then you might need to reload your historical. Lance Gall says, if I'm trading 2 contracts and I swing trade it and hit 25 points, they have no issue. No, I don't think so. That's beautiful if you can do that. They'd probably be happy if you can do that. The code does not apply to PA accounts. No, it does not. Yeah, so the reason why I think the business model of Apex works is because they actually do copy your trades on their you actually trade their actual accounts, but that only comes after, like, they kind of like a what I call a shadow evaluation, or it's actually like a, you know, but the thing is they put their risk in that first 10K on every trader. They do. But I think they make enough money on evaluations to cover any risk. I personally think that first 10K, they want to see how you trade in that first 10K, and they're willing to give you any money that you put in there. But they're also, they probably, with their statistics or whatever, wherever reports they're running, they probably also realize, like, you know, it's not worth copying everyone's trades, especially in that first 10K, because most people cannot get to that first withdrawal. Right, most people have a hard time trading profitably for 25 days straight. They do. It's hard for a lot of people, and that's pretty much 2 months of profitable trading. The reason why I say 2 months is because depending on when you start, right? Let's just say you begin, you know, right now, your PA account. 25 days means that you have to wait 2 months to your first withdrawal. That means you kind of have to trade profitably for 2 months before withdrawing. And to them, that's when they start to really see if you're a good trader or not. And they've mentioned it. They're pretty transparent about it. That once they think you are a good trader through your PA accounts, they don't care about eval, but in your PA accounts, if they see that you have consistently good trading, they'll actually reach out to you again and let you know that you have become a true prop firm trader to them. And I don't think anything really changes, but they're going to start copying your trades because they like the way you trade and they want that. So that's what they kind of do, but they only do that after, like, the shadow evaluation they have. So for me, it's like, I don't know. I think they use that first 10K to really, because a lot of people fail. Trust me, a lot of people fail before they can pull out the first 10K, I think. Then they actually start copying your trades once they see you're a good trader. And they have to. To be a sustainable business, you have to be able to sooner or later copy trades, because you're going to have that 1% of people that are going to actually be good traders that will basically take all your money if you do not actually copy their trades. At a certain point, you actually have to copy their trades. That's why I think after that first 10K, they take 10% after that, because that's when they start. That's when they actually want to start taking your money. Also, the thing is, like, people think like you bust one PA account and it's the end of the world. Pandas, you guys have no idea how many PA accounts I've busted. It racks up very quickly if you have a trade copier. So, you know, I've gone through a couple rounds of PA accounts. Now, like, I'm hitting my stride and I'm in a good place where I feel like from the beginning of the year to where I am now, like, I'm in a honestly different place right now. And you know, I just think it took it and it was around that 2.5 year mark of trading where it starts to really kind of set in. And I've gone through a couple rounds, Pandas, I'm not gonna lie. You know, I started with Apex earlier this year, and I've gone through my rounds with my P accounts. And the pandas knows exactly how many rounds I've gone through, but but now what they're seeing is like, wow, okay, this panda, he's made mistakes, but now it's kind of like, all right, okay, I see where this is going, I see what's possible, I see the potential here now, and yeah, I think the pandas, they can see that, they see my entire journey. But I'm just saying, if you feel like it's the end of the world when you fail one PA account, two PA accounts, I'll just say right now, like, to get to a certain point, you may have to fail a couple PA accounts, and that's all part of the journey. What I would highly recommend is, before using the trade copier, to make sure that you're profitable on one account. If you can be consistently profitable on one account, let's just say I would if you can pull out 10K on one account, then I would say that is when you should start to copy your trades across multiple accounts. I'll just leave it at that. That's probably the most conservative thing I can say here. But if you're like more eager to make money, you feel like you're ready, you can do it now, then of course you can start now. But if you're like just starting and you have no idea what you're doing, like, I would just wait, right? And just be good enough to be able to pull out 10K on one account and to do it. But maybe not even 10K, because that's going to take 4 or 5 months. But maybe at least pull out one withdrawal. Let's just say that. If you can do a withdrawal at least one time on one account, then I'll say, okay, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to start cracking open a lot of more evals, and that's just my recommendation, right, as a trader to trader. And of course, right, that hurts me, right? If, like, obviously I want you guys to buy as many as you can, because I have some affiliate with Apex, but no cap, to be honest, and just to be raw here, because this is what you get in this channel. That's just what I would recommend. Like, if you're a friend, that's what I would say.
Tick trap.
Dylan says, when you say bust, do you mean using all the capital, such as all the 50K they funded you with? I think you need to watch some videos, Dylan, to know how the prop firm works. There is a trailing threshold. Basically, I say that to you guys, my little story, because I want to encourage anyone who feels like they want to quit after they bust 1 or 2 PA accounts, even 5 PA accounts. If they busted 5 PA accounts, I want to just let you know, I want to give you some encouragement to know that it's not the end of the world. And that's why the prop firm is beautiful. Because imagine if you lost your own money, right? Imagine if you lost your own money. Because let's just say, like, you're using the 50K accounts and you lost 5 of them. That's over 25. That's 2,500 times 5, which is, well, I can't do the math. What is that? 2,500 times 5 is 12,500, right? Yep. You lost $12,500 if you were trading your own money. But at the end, what you end up losing is like $100. So $100 versus $10,000. What would you rather lose? I personally would like to lose, like a little over $100. That's no question. I mean, that's why the prop firm's nice. The only difference, Hugh says prop firms are like the multi-level marketing. It's like a pyramid scheme, right? That's not true at all. Prop firms are, I think, qualitatively, characteristically different than a pyramid scheme. The reason I'm saying is because it's purely based on your performance, regardless of anyone else, right? The prop firm is basically just gives you the opportunity to make money by trading their money, but I think the reason why it might seem similar is because of how hard it is to trade. Some people when they hear the statistic, only 10% of people, only 10% of traders are profitable, they take that as a challenge. They take that as like, okay, that makes me want to do this. I want to prove myself to be that 10%. Some people, that's enough drive for them, right? So it's like, trading is hard. What can I say? And the reason why it's hard is not because it's like in itself very difficult, but it's because people don't set their expectations correctly in terms of how long it'll take to become a good. Sorry, Panda. Like obviously, I'm not trading this, so I'm just gonna go on rant here. FOMC day rant. But basically, like, people don't set their expectations right. They think they can do it and like learn a setup and they'll be good in 1 week. But when it comes to trading, you have to learn so many aspects of it well, and not just like barely. You have to know it like the back of your hand, and to learn anything, to master anything, a simple rule of 10,000 hours I think is good, but I think that translates to about 3 to 4 years. Like, think about it as any college degree. You just practice one thing the entire time. 3 to 4 years. You're trading with the best, and if you are trading with the best, then you got to be better than just average. You got to be good. You don't have to be great. Of course, if you're great or excellent, then you're gonna make more money. But you have to be just at the very least good, better than the average. You gotta be better than 50% of the people, right, to make money. What's 10,000 hours? What's that? How many years does that equate to? Like if you do like a regular, maybe 40? Nah, that's too much. 10,000. Let's say like you practice 8 hours a day. And every day, say 250. If you did 8 hours a day, 8 hours a day, and you did it every single trading day, 10,000 hours equates to 5 years. 5 years of staring at charts before you get to 10,000 hours. It's hard. It's honestly hard for me to find any setup here. We're going down, but darn, this looks like a bull flag of some sort. We are going down though, and this channel is pretty accurate. It's a really good channel actually. This channel on the screen as well is also a good channel. Hey. So it's an expectation, people want the expectation, like, I want to do this in 1 day, but, I will set your expectation, for me, 3 years, 2.5 years to 3 years. I would say that's probably a good measurement if you're, like, almost on the lower end. 5 years, some, like Al Brooks took him 10 years to become profitable. I would say, like, everyone's different, so if you can see sparks of improvement, right? Like if you can see like long strings, like maybe a week string of profitability, a month of profitability, that's really excellent. Really excellent. And then you lose it all in 1 or 2 days, right? That's kind of like, whoa, like what happened? Like I just lost everything in 1 or 2 days. What's going on? Let's just say you have those 1 or 2 months of profitability and you get rid of those things that you do that make you bust your accounts in 1 or 2 days. Now, you might be red on some days, but those 1 or 2 months of profitability should cover any bad days that you have. So So that's the idea. Like, that's what I'm saying. If you can see sparks of success, that, you know, and if you see steps of improvement. So like you know, sometimes I don't like it when people just like, you know, to be honest, like I trade two-legged pullbacks here. I can trade any setup here really, but I'm trading two-legged pullbacks. But when people just jump from one strategy to another strategy to one indicator to another indicator, not saying that's necessarily entirely bad, because I think more tools the better. But if you're still on the search of like this golden gun, silver bullet type, you know, setup, then it's not there. I'll just say right now, it's not there, pandas. Right? It's not even the two-legged pullback. And I think you know, there's a lot of subjectivity when it comes to two-legged pullback as well. When it comes to price action, just like any language, you know, there's subjectivity to interpretation. So what I mean by that at the end is you got to learn, basically, you know, you got to be able to stick to something and stick to it very well. And I just think, you know, learning more strategies to add more tools is fine, right? More setups is fine. But finding more strategies to find the golden, right? The golden gun or the silver bullet, whatever you want to call it, it's not there. You will never find it. It takes hard work. It definitely takes a strategy that makes sense, though. Like, you need a strategy that makes sense and good risk management. At the end of the day, if you have those two things. And so this is what I'm saying, like, if you can show those sparks with a certain strategy. So like, first things first, you need the strategy that works, right? You need a strategy that actually works. If you don't have a strategy that works, it's not going to work, right? Just plain and simple, right? It can't just be random. Right? Even like an RSI strategy can work. How long did it take you to get through Al Brooks' videos? It will take a lifetime. I'm still going through it. But I consumed it like crazy. Probably takes a couple months, 2-3 months. Yeah, I think you need to mix. If you use indicators, you need to learn price action. Like at the end, you need to learn price action at a very basic level, at least. At a very basic level, at least. You have to learn market cycle, right? You have to learn that we are in this market cycle right now, right? This is a downtrend, but choppy, right? You have to learn that. So it's like you can take your risk by selling the top here, and buying here, and know that it's a risk. That it could possibly, even if the setup is good, it could possibly go against you, right? Everything's a probability. You have to learn, like, basically you know, very basic price action, no matter what setup, no matter what you use. I think it's supply and demand. You have to learn some basic price action, right? You have to learn some idea, like, okay, this is a little bullish, bouncing off of support here. Like, you have to be able to do that and learn price action at least at a basic level to do that. Richard Harris says, don't put your strategy on an etch and sketch. That's a good way to put it. Like, I don't even have a problem with indicators. You can be fine with that, but I would say at the end, yeah, price action is king, and you have to use some form of price action even with indicators.
Five-minute trap.
This is wild. I can't trade this. It's impossible. It's crazy. Steve Crew, yo Panda, thanks for 80% off code. I just passed two 25k value counts. Let's go, baby. Can't wait to see that FOMC can do. And if you pass your evals, I'll just say you gotta just trade micros until you get the PA count. And when I say micros, I mean, like, honestly, when people pass their evals, like, if you pass it by like over like $1,000, I would say that's actually kind of dumb, right? You just put yourself in a really bad position for no reason. You only have to pass it by like 50 bucks, if anything, maybe even less than that, just enough so you can trade micros and lose like on your micro trade like 1 tick on every single micro trade until you get your 10 days. That's all you need. You know, that's sometimes just like $20 over. Yeah, Kelly was talking about supply and demand. I honestly think I might start adding supply and demand to my repertoire, my auxiliary. It has to do with price action as well. So, you know, you're using price action to figure out these levels. I may start looking into that a little bit more. I like it a lot. The reason why I like it is because it's very akin to Al Brooks' gaps, and the gaps are basically this. It creates like these supply demand zones, and so for me, I like to, you know, I don't mind. It's not too much of a crossover. It's just another way to look at it. So I like, you know, I may start trading that. We'll see. And that's probably more for swing trading than anything. Yeah, Felipe says, I passed the 50k val, went to 55k, and then down to 5,204. Yeah, 52,400, or yeah, 52,400 on day 9 and failed. I misread that the trailing threshold doesn't stop at 50,100 on eval accounts, only on PA. Yeah, so that's kind of a shame because you had it in the bag, but because you just kept trading, it's just like, you know, it's kind of worth. I mean, at the end, you want to get funded. That's really what the point of eval is. Supply and demand, I think you can probably find some indicator. Wink, wink. Maybe, you know, an indicator may come out of, you know, something soon. Who knows? Yeah, it seems like Ninja or TradingView has some free ones, so we're finally breaking out of this just nasty grind down. Alright, Pandas, make sure you take advantage of that BBM 80 last day today. And like I said, FOMC, be careful when you trade around there. And I would say most likely it's going to be at that time, 2 o'clock, it's going to be one of those days where you can pass your evals in one trade, in my opinion, I think. But, you know, that's not any type of recommendation. I'm just saying that's such the facts. But Pandas, I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. 9 o'clock for the pre-market show, 9:15 for the mainstream. And I hope everyone trades well. And yeah, I'll see you guys then. And as always, happy trading. God bless. Bye.